biased, just kind of my in and out order and the GOATS comp are the same thing. 3 supports, 3 tanks, and the reasoning behind that is, I quote this, more HP, more room for mistakes. So that's where Switzerland is going. I said, what if it doesn't work? And they said, we'll just add more tanks. That's how Switzerland wants to play. I'm looking forward to it. Norway gonna come out with a Reaper, which can be very good against tanks. We've seen May on this point before.
I like that. Yes, give me more Reaper play. You know, we're not seeing so much Soon these days, right? So you gotta get your Reaper where you can get it, Hex. Already the wall thrown up here by Lux as well. We've seen May on this point as well because of that wall. There's that choke point. You can just cut teams in half as they try to push onto the point. So I like it. What? That is a ridiculously fast shatter.
Decod, the heart and soul of this team, comes in, but Switzerland's the one getting the kills. They started it off on a kill early on as well. This nice wall placement. They simply got there a little bit quicker. It's a game of positioning. Now everyone else escorted out of the point. Yeah, going nowhere, Zarya.
Yeah, already. Just straight action. That's what we expect on this point. So, Mimi's working his way up to the shadow of the zone. It's going to make life difficult for Norway trying to push back into this point. They're going to have to be careful about that Ryan shield, but Shinoda and Mimi going to be looking to get the combo off. The 1-2 combination punch straight to the jaw.
That's so momentum-based when you're running these similar comps against each other because you're just going to smash into each other's big balls of meat. Who gets the ult is a big thing. A shatter up for Mimi. CPA is it.
You got a target or 2 there, but they get overwhelmed. May on May. It's just getting cold. Sub-Zero. It's not as if the map was cold enough.
So it's Sub-Zero, yet we have Scorpion in the game. Old school MK action happening right now as Eva takes down a couple of their own. This one's pretty back and forth. It's been alternating in the kill feed. Does Norway have the throughput? It looks like they do to flip it back.
They will, and no ice block there off cooldown. Not going to be able to make it. We do get the stun. Odegaard getting taken for a ride, but Norway, they will succeed in flipping that point. Mimi has to back off, try to get in range of Shinoda for the heals, and he will.
Switzerland's May, pronounced Luke's right there, threw in the Blizzard at the end. And you may think that it's a bit of a waste of an ultimate, but with how fast May charges Blizzard, you might as well toss it in. And they still had 2 alive. Maybe you hit that charge a little earlier, then you can maybe pull it back. So I don't mind throwing in the Blizzard in a desperation there from Luke's.
Luke's is, I like Luke's because like you put that into a French accent, all of a sudden it means something expensive.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, definitely Switzerland. Not a cheap place, not a cheap place to live.
Like luxury.
There you go.
It's like all languages, you know, at least some languages are based on the same one.
Well, there we go. Combo into it. Death Blossom from track, just wiping everybody out, and they're nearly tied up here. Norway looking good so far. A little bit of a bumpy start, but...
That's super gutsy to throw out the Death Blossom when there's a Brigida on the other team. If you can take down the Brigida, then you have free range. The Death Blossom will get double stunned out. If you can use a Death Blossom to secure 1 or 2 kills, go ahead and do it. It's one of the lower value ultimates in the game right now. That is if you're playing the Reaper to begin with. But as you mentioned, too much tied up. I'm going to take a little second to admire the ice wall there.
That's a shame. No follow-up on that ice wall. That would have been sick if they could have clipped the Rhine. There's the ult, though, straight into a shatter. Decod already out of it. They will trade with no Brigida around. It's looking like Norway are going to pull ahead in this fight. The Lighthouse blazing away. And yeah, 75% and counting for Norway. Looking fantastic. Very good. Very good.
It's going to be very difficult to see how Switzerland is able to get back in this one. They do have the rally from Shinoda, so you think that maybe they just use it during the fight to start regenning armor as well. They're going to have Sounder. They have all the support ultimates they need to work with. Meanwhile, on the Norway side of things, 0 support ultimates. So Switzerland not out of this one yet. Got to win this fight, though.
There we go. That was a wall. It doesn't succeed in cutting the team, but it will buy a little bit more time. And speaking of which, to use the classic phrase, overtime Wickets burning Hex and burn it down!
I've never heard that before.
I'm always coming up with clever stuff like that. Doesn't end, doesn't stop. Broken records have got nothing on me.
There they go. If they bring it back, they only had to use 2 of their support ultimates, so in decent position here, and they get a full cleanup on the other side. But that momentum swings back to Norway's. They'll have support ultimates of their own. Very critical, though, that Remix was able to keep his sound barrier up. You start seeing a Blizzard come in, or maybe one of these crowd control ultimates. If you can get that sound barrier down, you're very likely to live through some of them.
Yes, and it just covers that whole point, Blizzard. But we will have the Lighthouse on the way here from IPN in just momentarily, so he can shine forth, lead the way. What's Decod doing? I guess he's just giving some soak. There it is. There's the May wall. Do they manage to collapse on this? Yes, they do. Odegaard has to use the Blizzard out in the open to buy some space here for his team to regroup and push on to the point.
Desperation there. Shinoda's been really killing it on this Brigida. There comes the crowd control. They had to use the sound barrier in the prior fight, so no one able to get the extra healing there, but this is down to the last fight, and Norway, I think, would be a little upset with Switzerland. Switzerland might get their first map right away.
They're the underdogs. Turns out they've got some fangs, Hex. This could be shaping up nicely. We've got another Death Blossom, and there's the stun you were talking about. Instant interrupt, no deaths there. Norway, however, once again, we are going to be trading 1 for 1.
They flipped up point over. Now it's Norway in control, so Switzerland has to get them off of the points and then take it back, but it seems like they're getting all the kills they need.
They managed to pick up one there, and then, of course, you're going to have the delaying tactics coming through from Onigod. The stick on Kiva gets demeched, and they will succeed in the flip. Now, can they get back onto the point? Track is trying to run his way back in, and he will not make it. Ejected immediately. And the strong start here for the Swiss.
Man, Switzerland yesterday was so funny talking to them too, because they're like, we always start really strong. And then the longer it goes on, the worse we get. And I think a lot of this, as a Swiss team, none of these guys are professional players necessarily. They have jobs, they have to go to university. It's really expensive to live in Switzerland, so you can't just give up your life and try to become a pro gamer. So a lot of them don't necessarily have the endurance that you see of guys who are grinding 10 to 12 hours, because you gotta work, you gotta study. If you wanna live in one of the nicest countries in the world, you gotta put in your dues. But they come out really strong there, and they might already set their expectations a little higher after this.
I like this. We're gonna turn this broadcast into an economic lesson, because it's just like Norway too. Norway.
I have sheets and sheets of Swiss backs.
I love paying $16 for a Big Mac. Yes, give me more of that, Norway. I mean, that was a brutal land.
I've been to Sweden. It is non-inexpensive to use a double negative.
All right, well, looking like we're gonna get a bit of a change here from Switzerland. They're hightailing it back to spawn, so most likely gonna get some swaps up here on the comp. Yep, we've got a Zen in play. The whole team had to go back just to make sure that that Zen.
He's slow. He's a bit of a slow player. So Switzerland told me that they're probably mostly going to run the GOATS composition. I think no one would be surprised by that. It requires a little bit less coordination because you're all clumped up, just hit your abilities, and you can probably win out some fights. If necessary, maybe they'll end up switching to some more projectile explosive damage.
It's looking like it's just going to be the wear and tear right now, building up. A little bit of a ride there, but maybe going to get overwhelmed. Many kills right now for Norway on this point. Successful hold for them, and they will take first control.
This is actually a really important stage for Switzerland, because Nepal is their favorite map, except for Sanctum. Sanctum being the third stage that we would have to go to, Sanctum being the stage that plays a little bit differently than these other two stages. So they've already gotten stage 1. If they can get stage 2 here, they'd be very happy, because they don't really want to play Sanctum on their favorite map.
So let's see. Oh. Okay.
Did you step on something? I still hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, well. That's interesting. Cover for me for a second here, Hex.
Well, regardless, Eco's able to take down Shinoda, who was the all-star standout on the first one, and that is 2 down quickly as Norway continues. The reset comes in for Switzerland, as they will take a trip off the edge of the map back down to the village. All these maps are connected, one giant map. All the stages are connected, I should say. And now Switzerland is banked up some ultimates to be able to use. They will have nearly everything. Self-destruct has been a big player so far in the one match we've seen in this group stage in Los Angeles. There's the grab.
Grab is out, so everything is good, and there's the combo! Tricky with the Diva Bomb, straight into the mix.
It's tricky to rock a rhyme. To rock a rhyme that's right on time, it's tricky.
It's tricky. Everybody start jumping up and down right now.
That's also really, really nice for Norway as far as just cleaning them up, wiping them out. They should expect to lose this next fight if Switzerland uses their ultimates correctly. They almost have all 6 check marks going up.
Yeah, about to crack open that 6-pack. Kiva's the one who's holding them up. There's the Shatter to kick things off. We've got the sound barrier as well. Beautiful grab that's going to create an opportunity here. 2 kills already. Key figures as well with that AoE healing out of the picture. The Moira dead. That's going to make it difficult here for Norway to hold into this fight, and they're not going to do it.
They have to win this fight. It does seem like all the pieces fall in place. They used every single ultimate that they had. So Mimi's going to get himself another Shatter. Ryan is in such a strange place right now because he's so difficult to play against these compositions where you're just getting stunned and bashed and you're getting knocked all over the place. However, the flip side of that is pretty much going to have Shatter all the time.
I mean, you're hitting like 3 people every time you swing that hammer because you're also grouped up. Yeah, I like it. More shatters, more explosive plays. There's the grab, though. He had something, but it's going to be 2 kills here for Norway, and they look like they are going to hold.
Yeah, there's no counterplay available for Switzerland when they were all caught in the group hug of the Graviton, and now it is just cleanup. Norway will take control back. It'll be difficult for Switzerland to get in here with any sort of significant force. and they will just push him back. We're gonna be tied up 1-1 on Nepal going into Sanctum.
Excellent work there, keeping it together. These are going to be the slight differences that you're going to, well, slight, I mean, barely major. Ult usage, right? Ult usage with committing everything to fights is going to put you on the back foot for the following one. And so Switzerland, you know, they threw everything in the kitchen sink in, and then what did they have left? They were trying to fend them off with, like, you know, the toilet plunger.
Yeah, Matt and Mitch talked about it a little bit earlier, how in the Overwatch League it's such a high level of play and such a constant high level of play that the smallest mistake always gets punished. So some of these teams that don't have that high level of experience are trying to build compositions which allow them to make mistakes. As Switzerland mentioned, the more HP you have, the more room you have for mistakes. When you're going in these similar compositions, any sort of mistake as far as do we need that ult can really snowball into being something that is difficult to come back from.
Look at what Norway are running, though. This is going to be fun.
It's a new variation on dive, the Sombra Tracer being your dive DPS here. And Ana has re-entered the meta, as has Lucio. Switzerland's hashtag is actually no mercy, because they're thrilled that they don't have to play mercy anymore.
Yeah, get that res mechanic out of here. I mean, right now it is going to be a bit of a standoff between both of these teams. Norway have elected to take up the position first on the point. Switzerland, of course, moving together as a unit, maximize that AoE healing coming in from the Moira.
It's a little bit late. I think they wanted to touch the point before Control came over, just taking the roundabout ways there. But Lukes takes down Onigod. Those right clicks will charge your ultimate so fast. 2 headshots with the icicles.
Oh my, he just wiped them out. There's the DPS down here for Norway. IPN kind of hanging out on the edge, looking to dodge that icicle, but he's going to get caught by Remix.
Right.
Okay,
so
then.
It looks like Norway actually didn't take control of the point. I'm sorry. I thought I saw them take it. So a good timing there by Switzerland to get on the point at the last second. And now they're going to start taking up the percentages.
Oh, wow. And there's the follow-up. All right, that first one, though, was spicy. I like that.
It's got to be burst damage, too, on the Sombra. She's up there trying to farm tanks so she can get EMP, but she'll just translocate out if you don't burst her down like that.
Beautiful work there, right over the top of the wall, trying to stay together. Tricky gets overwhelmed, but that is a perfect position for the Moira beam. Just cleaving right through that choke point. You want to get through, you're going to take the heart.
And you see right there, that's what those 2 right clicks lead you to. The Blizzard already came in. They throw in ultimates, but Switzerland mopping up right now. The momentum firmly in their favor.
Beautiful work from Switzerland right at the choke point, funneling Norway into a max amount of damage. Max a lot of CC, and well, Switzerland are going to hold for now. It's a question of whether they can do it again. They will have sound barrier for this next fight as well, so one of those big defensive ults to really make them a tough nut to crack.
They've used a few more ultimates, but Norway invested Nano and Shatter into the last fight, so it's not like they're banking.
You see that, though? Mimi just gets canceled out of his Shatter. He was trying to go for the surprise, crouching in the corner, but hey, Norway, you know, checking corners. That's what it's all about. Lux getting stunned as well. Track really coming up with the goods right now. Ooh. And the knockback by Scorpion.
Scorpion's gonna go off, but it was time to reset anyway. The only problem is now you're just giving over a bit of ult charge, but Eco did have his sound barrier all the way ready, and now Norway has banked it all the way back up, even though they used Nano and Shatter. And the penultimate fight, or the fight before last, rather, I'm sorry. They will have both of those back up. 6 whole ultimates, but Switzerland's really only 1 fight away. They could just kind of throw this one into an eco rush.
Exactly, trying to force some ultimates out. Yep, there's the sound barrier already getting thrown into the mix. We've got the grab as well by Onigod. They're trying to build on this. Maybe will eject Decod, so he's out of the fight. And then Norway right now, they need to kind of figure out how to get back into this. They're kind of hanging in here. Tough people to kill.
Switzerland is committing to this, though. They've used a Blizzard. They've used the barrier. 2 of them almost went off the edge, but were able to ride that wall, get back up here. And now it's just Track and Decod on the point.
They're going to get overwhelmed right now. There's 5 players right here for Switzerland just looking to crush. Not going to be able to survive that much longer. IPM gets boofed up again here by Remix. These environmental kills from the Lucio. It really is their time to shine.
Nice stagger there late, too, as Track and Oni will fall late. Now they're going to hold doorway here. They're going to have the Brigida rally to work with and a Graviton. They can just lock them out. And the question is, can you grab at this door and get your swings through? There you see the armor coming up off of Brigida's ultimate.
This is going to be the big grab. You just have to hope that Diva's not going to be able to eat it. On the other side of the wall, hiding it. Gonna draw him in, but not quite the impact that they were looking for. Although Lux does manage to find a kill on Track. There's no Brigida in the mix, but they flip the point in the meantime.
Yeah, they've got a back cap going with their Lucio on the point. Oni's off, but Decod running wild right now takes down a couple. Kiba's got 100% charge. It ends up being like an MS Paint Eraser. Wipe them off the map. A nice little jump onto the point. They could be able to bring it back.
Exactly.
It was a small mistake they're using the wall and the grab the way they did. The wall would have locked them right out, but that's a lockout ultimate onto the point as Blizzard comes in. Just decaught here.
And he's, oh, not for long.
Nope.
Hex, not for long. Oh, and he gets boosted as well.
Desperation time, have to throw it in. And Switzerland, whose only fear was going 0 in 20, will not go 0 in 20. Move those expectations, boys.
That's going to be resetting things here for Norway. They're the ones that got to figure out, now wait, hold on here. What is happening? Excellent work there from Switzerland in the end, making all the right calls. And so there we have it, Hex. Switzerland in the lead.
Very close.
Not so neutral after all.
We're just gonna hit neutral jokes all day. Very close on that one though, if you just look at the stats. It's like 57, 53, I'll get 52, 56 rather, as far as just kills go. So just kind of small things here and there. I was pretty impressed with the Brigida play. And you know my opinions on Brigida when I have to play against her, but I thought Shimoda played it really well.
You love her as much.
Shinoda.
Yeah, Shinoda. You love her about as much as a Fanning McCree, I think.
Yeah, well.
So,
you know, then there's issues I have with Genji as well. But I'm just bad, so I don't like any player that kills me.
yeah, that's usually how it goes, Hex.
Yeah, it is. It's OP when they play it, and it's underpowered when I play it.
Exactly. Why aren't I always getting 6-man diva bombs? What is this? Hear it all the time, guys. Hear it all the time.
No, it's exactly like paper is fine, rock is OP, signed scissors.
I'm liking this from the Ryans, though. Just lots of final blows for both of these Ryans because they're just in the thick of it all the time. So, I mean, hey, Johnny Boy, reinforce. Going to be seeing him play some Ryan. I expect to see the same from him at some point. It is Blizzard World coming up next on the maps.
Right, Norway with the selection there. We will be going to the wonderful Blizzard World. And, you know, you could say Nepal was Blizzard World. 2 Mays ran all the way through that. Both teams ran May the entire time. Those points get locked down by her ultimate, the Blizzard, like I said, which charges really fast. And I think Sanctum, which was a map that Switzerland feared going forward, was really won by 2 early icicles to the dome by that May, because then the next time you lock it out with a Blizzard. And, you know, some ult usage I think may be questionable towards the end. You wait for that wall to fall down because D.Va can kind of still eat it with the defense matrix. That buys you the time, and then you can just lock them out of the point with the grab. You don't even have to fight because they're not going to be able to touch it. So it looked like they had a set play there. I'm not sure, you know, but these teams haven't really had a ton of times to scrim, to be honest.
No, I'm looking forward to more of this level of play from Switzerland. When you get used to that luxury, right? You get used to that level. It's hard to go back, Hex. It's hard to go back. Yeah, I don't think they're expecting to do the same.
I like that these observers are terrifying us. I've got a bit of thalassophobia, and you just throw me right into the shark's maw. What was that? Thought we're friends.
Well, you know, we'll find out now if Norway are going to need a bigger boat because they got some work ahead of them here. Switzerland will be starting on the attack, though. Switzerland will be starting on the attack. You are
kind of wearing like the modern chic fisherman sweater as well. Like, if your collar was a bit bigger, you know.
Yeah, and the buttons along the side.
Yeah, get you a little corncob pipe. Well, we'll get it going.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Captain Haddock.
So Switzerland, goal 1 met. Not getting shut out. They just, honestly, like, these guys were having a good time. They're like, look, we understand where we're at in this group. We understand no one expects anything of us. If we can win a map, then we're going to play free and easy, free and loose. And they looked really good there. They overcame a demon that was Sanctum for them. They were afraid of playing that one. So, house money now. Just play whatever.
That could be the thing. I mean, if they keep up on that point, it is a good point to raise, Hex. If there's no pressure on you, you guys are just going to mess around and have a good time, and you are playing a pretty strong comp. So they're sticking to their guns right now, Switzerland. No change there. And as far as Norway are concerned, I like it. We'll have a Pharah flying high. No real answer to the Pharah here with this comp that Switzerland are running. So I do expect Track to just have a field day.
Well, you know exactly what Switzerland's going to run for the most part. They're going to run this until you prove that you can beat it. The anti-heal from Ana has become so important in trying to disassemble this triple-triple combination because even when you know what the other team's running, it's still like, well, how are you going to beat it, though? You know, like the GOATS comp triple-triple is what I'm going to try to really name it now because I'm really tired of hearing the word GOATS.
You've been spending too much time in LA. How many times have you been in and out? Triple, really?
You know,
3 by 3?
It's a number greater than 0.
Okay. I like we have that baseline to get off of.
All right, so they are going to move over to a Widow to try to deal with this Pharah. It's a great switch here to try to at least put some pressure and make her play at least behind some stuff, right? You don't even have to hit your shots, but it changes the way the Pharah plays.
Yeah, Track is already trying to change that up. Nice little nade there. Trying to limit that healing here. Norway, though, they are going to be able to find it. Track wins the duel versus the Widow, but we lose Eco in the meantime to Kiba. Oh, what a stack! Triple kill for Onigod on the Tracer. Okay.
These are the kind of big flashy plays that you're just used to seeing from Oni God. He is a DPS aficionado. He's so good at so many heroes. I remember him on so many different ones. His Genji great, but obviously Pulse Bomb can be pretty good against this composition if they're softened up enough.
Oh, they were all right there in the corner. It couldn't have gone better. I like that. More AoE, just do the burst. And now we have a McCree in play here from Luke. So it is not going to be the Widow. Feels like he wasn't getting the bang for his buck there. And now we've got a boosted Monkey on the point.
Well, they go to McCree to help with the Tracer and the Pharah. Of course, the stun on the Tracer will deal with that. It's a nice kill on Onigod. And Luke's does exactly what is required of this hero. Takes down the Tracer, takes down the Pharah. That's why he switched to that McCree.
That was a sick play, and not quite finding the shots there at the end. Looks like Nikio will be able to get back around the corner. Now it's going to be about delaying here for Norway, hoping that people are going to be able to run back onto this point. We still have IPN chilling out on that Ana on the high ground, but Kiva's looking to put some pressure on him, and yep. We will have Switzerland successfully taking over the first point, minute and a half on the clock. And we're up to 4.
I really like the quick switch from Luke's, though. After he gets challenged on the Widow and the Pharah just dunks on him, right? Because it's a high-pressure situation. But none of these guys in Switzerland have played in this environment before. The closest experience they have is playing at, like, local lands, stuff like that. This is a big stage right now. So now you get one map on your belt, settle some nerves. But I think McCree gives you a little bit more against the Pharah to not really worry about, deals with the Tracer as well. A great switch, and I like that he didn't just get stubborn and stick on the Widow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, trying to run it. If you're not feeling it, you're going for a comp where McCree will get a lot of support. Just do it. Just do it. So Luke's, he might be backing off now, going for a bit of a change. He has got the Deadeye, but right now we have a couple of kills coming through here for Norway. Luke's just backing all the way up into spawn.
All the way back into spawn. And now Norway is going to have 2 of the snipers in Overwatch on their squad. They've got a Hanzo, they've got a Widow. There's a variation you can see very often run against the triple comp.
Yeah, crouching Hanzo, hidden dragon. Not for that long though. The dragon out onto the point, clearing it out, cutting Switzerland in half. Mimi's completely separated from his team. He's gonna get overwhelmed out here.
It looked like it was going to be a decent disengage, but as you mentioned, they were bifurcated, and Mimi was just waiting for sweet death there, and it will oblige him with a grenade. It's so important to have the AoE kind of stuff to be able to deal with a very tank-heavy composition.
Well, Luke can't be too happy about that arrow to the knee, and he's lost all of his energy. It's done. Got to start all over again. So Switzerland now taking the time to kind of group back up again. That is kind of the point of the comp. Run together, get topped up, and move in. Try and take advantage of that shadow. Something like they're trying to change the angle up here, but it looks like Decod's also in position to deal with this. They've got it covered.
Yeah, well, this is one of the points, though, that it seems like you have more area than you do, but you can also get spawn camps on it because there are the flanks that allow a lot of the damage dealers to come out. Dragon gets thrown in, and this one's getting cleaned up in pretty short order here.
Woo! That looked like it was about to hit, but the payload got in the way. That would have been sick. Too bad IPN. Really holding on to that nano. I thought he would throw it in this next fight, or this fight, but it's looking like he'll have that for the next one to rely on.
The problem for Switzerland right now is that they're getting beaten so badly in these fights that they've not been able to come back as far as ultimate economy goes. So they need to start banking up some ultimates. The nearest one that they have outside of the ones already earned is probably going to be Rally. Rally can be a game changer. There's no Brigida on the other side of things either, so you're essentially just going to give your entire team as much armor as humanly possible.
This next engagement is going to be key. A minute on the clock left here for Switzerland to make some real progress with this payload. And while Norway is still looking so confident, we do have the Mercy in play. And what's important about that is that we've nearly got the Valk online. So when those wings come out, it's going to get even more difficult here for Switzerland to crack it.
The Mercy is largely in play to damage boost your Widow and to damage boost your Hanzo to make sure that you're getting as big a burst damage as you can into this big tank line here. But of course, she also is able to resurrect and erase any mistakes you might make.
Viva finally going to put some pressure here. We are going for it. Storm Arrow out. Not quite the damage. Maybe getting overwhelmed though. Decon coming up with the goods. 2 kills for him. The stun on Shinoda means that he's dead. And that is donezo. Norway, excellent hold on their part. Hardly any progress made at all with this payload.
They committed a great deal to that one too. So maybe Switzerland can swing it back. That aforementioned Rally, the armor-giving ultimate from Brigida is going to be online. So Switzerland is going to be a little bit tougher right now. However, they're not going to be able to sneak up on him. Track is nearing infra sight, and the Dragon is ready to eat.
I'd say now we got the rally as well. Doesn't matter, canceled! Shinoda taking into the wall, some modern art, and it's over. Onigod now getting a position for the flank. If he can just hit one more arrow here, not quite gonna find it. Still, nah, whatever, we're just gonna have EKO killing him. EKO.
It's a little...
Sorry, have it.
Yeah, have it. Old habits die hard. Switzerland dies quick here. It just all fell apart after this first point. The choke was too much for them to overcome. Norway with a nice hold, bouncing back.
Sick play from Norway, looking like they've got a bit, trying to just show a bit of that pedigree right now. Them being the favorite team in this matchup. Switzerland not quite knowing how to react to that hold. And while that's, when you have a single strategy, you've made it perfectly clear that this is your single strategy, it just leaves the ball in Norway's court as to like, right, okay, now let's just keep throwing different things at them because they're not going to know how to react to everything.
That's exactly right. And Norway actually prides themselves on their adaptability. They said it's one of their strengths going forward is that, yes, we do have compositions that we like to run, but we're able to change up. And I think that Switzerland has had less time to really work together. Again, you got to try to coordinate work schedules, class schedules, and do you even really have time to scrim? And it just seems like they're going to run what they run until they're forced to change it.
Right, exactly. So you just bend their arm back far enough. I was laughing at Hex. I mean, I was listening to what you were saying, but I was also laughing at the fact that the observer was trying to get a camera shot of that shark up close.
Oh, great.
So a bit of a jump scare there.
Thanks, guys. That's why I was looking away.
Shout out to the observer.
I saw you grinning, and I knew that. Like when I see you grinning, I'm like, oh, this is bad for me. that's my first instinct.
God damn it. All right, well, now I got to work on my game face, my poker face a bit more here, obviously.
Yeah. All right, so defensively, Switzerland not out of this map. Look, they've already taken a map. Now they can actually take Blizzard World if they just full hold. And on Blizzard World, not unheard of to full hold this first point.
Yeah, welcome to our matchmaking experiences. Except that I'm usually the one full holding. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of here, Brent.
Brent, I got him out of here, Hex. Repeatedly.
Yes, repeatedly you did. All right, so high ground hold for Switzerland here. This is generally what you might see with an Orisa. You might just be scoping out, though, here. Maybe drop a shield up there for some early poke damage booster Widow. No shield up top. There it is. Oh, really cool play. You toss it super high in the air, and already the trap finds Track. Back to spawn with you, Sombra.
There's a trade. Okay, IPN going to go in for the Zed.
All right, full dive. Onigod on Tracer. Track's going to go to Genji. They run both dive heroes. This is about as traditional as dive as you get. Zen, Lucio, D.Va, Winston, Tracer, Genji.
All right, so we do have that duo. We're going to see a lot of Winston and Tracer play, 1-2 combination, with the Tracer obviously trying to kill the Winston softened heroes. Scorpion on the high ground. Well, Switzerland just electing to once again just stake together, work together as a unit, but that's also going to be a beautiful target here for the dive to go right in on them. Big kill on Remix. Shinoda going to die without that healing right now. Switzerland are going to be hard pressed to hold.
It's been back and forth. A couple next kills might really decide things. A missed hook might come back to bite them though, as he could have got Track there, but with that dash reset, going to just dash right through. And so no full hold going to be possible here. Now they've got to hold right outside the box. Make sure that payload doesn't get too far. That is the box right there.
Yep.
And it seems kind of counterintuitive to be diving something like that with a Junkrat and Orisa setup, but that's how you deal with Orisa. You can't really get away. Just throw as much pressure on it as possible, and then hopefully make trades in your favor.
That was sick that they just pick up Remix. I mean, that's the best kill you can get right there. Oh, you had healing? Not anymore. You're dead. Speaking of which, that was a nice tire there thrown in by Shinoda, so that'll delay things a little bit further here. Onigod gonna get found by Lux as well.
Switzerland said they were no mercy, and the play on words I admired as well, but Remix did seem very happy that it wasn't gonna have to play mercy. Now perhaps a little bit rusty on it, unable to defend himself early on, but also in that kind of composition, where's mercy gonna go? There's nowhere to fly to, there's no safety, you're just sitting there.
It's not rust, I thought my mercies were made out of stainless steel, Hex. Rust? What's that?
Yeah, it's all that glimmers is not gold, perhaps. Oni looking for a flank here. He's got his pulse bomb ready.
Oh, I think that one got eaten. It did. Nice D-Matrix play there. And now, well, you're not going to be able to D-Matrix this. There's Track, hack and slash, 2 kills. And we'll get a third off the back of it. Mimic's not going to be able to get out of there as well. And just perfect play here from Norway, setting it all up, catching Switzerland. It's been a rock and a hard place, and they will find success here on the second map.
Track comes to life. His best hero pool is that flex DPS, the projectile heroes, your Pharas and your Genjis, of course. And Norway will equalize things. We sit here 1-1 out of our 4 maps.
Sick work. They did. You know, sometimes you do get that teams needing a little bit of time to warm up, shake off the nerves, right? It's the first match of the tournament. You're playing on a stage in front of a crowd, not quite feeling what's going on. But it's looking like Norway more than capable. Excellent work on the second map on Blizz World.
Hey, at least got some free gear. You're supposed to take the sticker off the hat, son. Come on. I'm getting old, man. Getting old.
2018. Come on, man. Seriously, now you're supposed to leave the tags on your shoes. I'm like, you gotta draw them in somewhere.
Wait, come on. Are you serious?
You gotta draw them in somewhere.
I leave the security tags on my jeans.
I don't even have tags on these shoes, or laces, or anything to do with that. Let's go ahead and hand it over to Puckett. He's got a coach to talk to.
Thank you so much, Selmore. That's right, I got MKL here, the coach of Team Norway, and we got to start off here. Yeah, make some noise for this man. You've been around the scene since the very beginning. You put this squad together. You've been coaching these guys through it, but you came out a little bit slow on our first map. What happened on Nepal?
So just to credit Switzerland, they played the tank comms really well. So us Europeans really credit ourselves on the tank play, and they made us really proud with that. I think we came out a little bit slow. We were like stage jittery, but as Blizzard World came, we played our game and we played really well.
We saw some nice dives. Track was popping off there on the Genji to close out game number 2. You guys are now tied up at the half. But looking forward, we know we have a few more maps to go. What do you think is going to be your greatest strength if Norway's going to get the win here today?
So I think like we played our dive really well. And then as for a game mode, our escort is probably our strongest map mode.
Feeling good about the escort coming up? All right, there we have it. This is MK. I'll give it up for him one more time. Norway, Switzerland, it's all tied up. Second half coming up when we return.